For years, it's been the ghost at every gaming event, the one game everyone is always waiting for. Of course, I'm talking about Hollow Knight Silksong. Well, after what felt like an eternity of silence, the myth is finally real, and we have some absolutely huge news. So let's just dive right in.
For the longest time, the community had a name for it, the non-existent game. And it kind of stopped being a joke, you know? It felt less like a real project and more like this shared dream that we were all worried we'd have to wake up from. People were genuinely afraid it was never coming out.
And then, just like that, everything changed. Out of nowhere at Gamescom, a brand new, full-on demo was suddenly playable. And I'm not talking about some old trailer footage. This was a fresh, polished, half-hour experience. Our first real, hands-on look at Silksong in years.
So what did we actually learn from this demo? Well, first things first, it showed us that our new hero, Hornet, is a completely different animal compared to the knight from the first game. Let's break down how she actually plays.
This is a massive shift in how the game feels. If the knight was slow and methodical, Hornet is just pure acrobatic chaos. Her attacks are way faster, they have more range, but the real star of the show is her movement. We're talking enhanced aerial mobility, an air dash, a dive kick. Combat is basically a high-flying dance now.
All of Hornet's special moves run on a new resource called Silk. This is what fuels not just a much more powerful heal, but also some incredible offensive skills. You've got that ground-slamming dive attack, and you can even throw your needle like a projectile. It adds this whole other strategic layer to every single fight.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. You can't just spam all these cool abilities. Silk recharges really slowly as you hit enemies, so this creates this amazing tension in every fight. Do you use your Silk for a big attack to try and end things quickly? Or do you save it for that desperate heal you know you're going to need? Every choice matters.
And believe me, you are going to be making a lot of those tough choices. Because if this demo is anything to go by, Silksong is not messing around. It's looking like it's going to be even harder than the original.
The enemy design is just brilliant. They aren't just stronger, they're smarter. They've been built from the ground up to counter Hornet's moves. Oh, you like being in the air? Cool. So do they. They'll jump right up to fight you. Some have shields that block attacks from the front or above. Others wear these metal helmets, so your dive kick is useless. Every single encounter is a new puzzle to solve.
And this all leads up to the demo's final boss, this ridiculously fast white insect swordswoman. People who fought her said her speed and her attack patterns were on the same level as the hardest bosses from the Hollow Knight DLCs. So yeah, this wasn't some early game tutorial boss. This was a statement. This game is going to be incredibly tough.
But okay, after all the amazing gameplay details, the difficulty, and the proof that the game was actually real and felt amazing, there was still that one giant question hanging in the air.
We finally had proof. We had a demo, but we still didn't have a release date. Was it coming next year, 2025? The entire community was just holding its breath, expecting another long wait. And then they just dropped it on us. September 4th. Not next year, not next holiday season, just a few weeks away. The shock was just unreal.
Just think about that for a second. We went from years of total radio silence to finding out the game was coming out practically tomorrow. It's not technically a shadow drop, but with only 2 weeks' notice, it sure felt like one. Nobody saw this coming. And, as if that wasn't enough, the developers also confirmed just how massive this adventure is going to be.
So the full game is going to have over 200 different new enemies to fight. And on top of that, more than 40 unique bosses. 40! This isn't just a sequel, it's a colossal game. It promises a world that's even bigger and more packed than the first one. And the best news is, pretty much everyone can play it on day one. It's launching on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch all at the same time. And yep, it's also going to be on Game Pass from the jump. So, with the game just around the corner, it's time to put it all together. What should we really be expecting when we finally get our hands on Silksong? Well, this brings up a huge challenge. After all these years, the hype for Silksong is just astronomical. And there's a real worry that this massive expectation could be a double-edged sword. I mean, can any game actually live up to the legendary status this one has? The pressure has to be immense. Because of that, here's the #1 piece of advice for anyone who's new to this world. Play the original Hollow Knight first. It is an absolute masterpiece, and trust me, experiencing that game will make your journey in Silksong so much richer and more meaningful. You've still got a little bit of time. And that really leaves us with the final, biggest question of all.
We know the gameplay is going to be amazing, we know the world is huge, and the challenge is real. But after all this time, after it became a myth, could it be that Silksong's biggest, most brutal boss isn't in the game at all, but the monumental hype it has to overcome? Well, we are all about to find out.